Hey everybody, today we're going to be doing an unboxing video of my latest Amazon purchase. This is the Apeman 20 megapixel trail camera. The model number is H60. And as I've done before, if you've watched my videos before, I like doing these unboxing videos in case there's somebody else out there who's thinking about buying the same item and just wants to get an idea of what does it look like when it comes in, how does the setup look, how does it work. So if you've watched my videos before, you know that I have used Apeman cameras before. These are really good cameras for the price. I think I've had 3 of them. One of them was a little bit of a disappointment as far as the image quality. The other 2 have been really great. And that's why I've gone back to them to try out their latest model. I pay for these items with my own money. I get nothing for doing the videos. But I think it's kind of fun to help people out and just remember the items that you've ordered over the past. So a couple little thank you cards. This camera does run on a micro SD card and they provide that for you. So generally I do like the cameras that run on a regular SD card only because the micro SD cards are a little bit harder for me to handle, especially with long fingers. But anyway, runs on a micro SD card. They give you a 16 gig card with this camera, which is really nice. The instruction manual, the camera itself. We'll look at that in a minute, but so they give you a USB cable. So what this would be for is if you need to do any kind of firmware updates, you can plug the camera into the computer and get your firmware update. You can also retrieve your images by plugging this into the camera. I personally have never used one of these. When I want to get my images, I take the memory card out of the camera, I plug it into my computer directly and just pull the images that way. This is a metal mounting bracket. This is pretty standard with any of the cameras that you get on Amazon, at least the non-name brand ones out of China. They all come with this metal mounting bracket that works really well. And then there's also the traditional strap mounting bracket that you can just run through the back of the camera if you prefer that. I usually use these, but that's just a preference. So let's take a look at the camera itself. Again, I said this is a 20 megapixel camera. One of the key things I like about the Apeman cameras is that they run on a solar panel. The other thing I like is they're one of the few cameras that they put the solar panel connection on the back of the camera, which is important. There's a lot of these companies out there that they put it over here, and every time you open it, you have to unplug your solar panel, which to me it makes no sense. Apeman has it right. They have it on the back. This is going to be up against the tree, so you want to be able to open this freely and not interfere with your electrical cord or your solar connection. So that's my main reason for liking Apeman. They work great with a solar panel if you've got a solar panel. Here's the camera itself. If you don't have a solar panel, you can simply run it on AA batteries. If you are using the metal mounting bracket, this here, you have 2 different options, the bottom of the camera or the back of the camera. Another thing I like about the Apeman cameras, they give you 2. Some of the cameras just put it on the bottom, but they don't give you this back option. And if you're using the strap, you would just run it through the back right here. So that's a quick unboxing. Let's get some batteries or some power connected to it, and we'll go through the setup. Hey everybody. As I mentioned before, I thought it might be beneficial to walk you through the setup of this camera. I also mentioned that I'm going to be running it off of a solar panel. I'm not using any AA batteries, but that's optional. If you've got AA batteries and no solar panel, you would just put them in here. As we look at the camera, you've got a couple buttons here. You've got a menu, replay, mode, shot button, and then you've got some arrow keys here. Down here you've got a button that has an off position, a setup position, and an on position. All we're going to do is move this to setup mode. And that's what will turn the camera on. And then really the setup of these cameras is very easy. All you're going to do is use the arrows, like in this case it's asking for language. We'll press our language, and then it just kind of takes you into the setup. So you can set your clock. Get it on the value you want, press OK. It's asking if I want to format the memory card. I do want to do that. That's always a good idea, really, in any camera, is to format your SD card. But to go in, you can go to your menu, and then these are the different settings. I'm not going to walk you through all of them, but I'll just tell you kind of what they are. Mode, for example, we can set it on camera, video or video in camera, depending on if you're wanting to take still shots or video. I'm going to do both of them. You can choose your photo resolution. Again, this is a 20 megapixel camera, so I'm going to set it on the highest resolution. You can choose your video size. We'll go 1080p. I'm just going to go through some of these to give you an idea of all your setup options. Picture number is how many pictures do you want it to take when it gets triggered. How long do you want your videos to be? I like that they have it in individual increments. So if you want to do something weird like 21 seconds instead of 20, you can do that. Interval is how often do you want it to re-trigger itself after it's been triggered. So same thing. They have individual seconds, which is nice. So I can say 48 seconds. Time lapse, time stamp. Excuse me. Do you want that on or off? Time switch. Time switch would be if you only wanted the camera to operate at certain times of day. Maybe you only want to take night pictures, but not day pictures. You can set that in time switch. You can put a password on the computer. You can set the serial number. You can choose whether or not the side PIRs set or not. If you turn this off, it's only going to use the center one, it won't use the side ones. So that's an option on this camera. You can set your PIR sensitivity, which is really great. Some of these cameras, you put them out and you get so many false triggers and they don't give you the ability to adjust your sensitivity. This one's nice because you can actually adjust it. You can change your language, you can format your SD card. Again, you can set your clock, you can set it back to default set. You can auto power it off after so many minutes. You can cut off the beep sound. You'll notice now it's not beeping. You can choose whether or not, how loud to have the volume play whenever you're playing back your video. And you can choose whether or not to record volume or not when you're doing video. So that's a real quick walkthrough of all the setup options. Once you've got it set up the way you want, all you're going to do is press menu to go back, and then you're just going to switch it from setup to on. And you'll notice that it's blinking here. It's going to give you about 15 seconds. Once it stops blinking, the camera is now triggered. So that's how you put it out. Anyway, that's a real quick walkthrough of how the setup works. Just to talk to you, the shot here is if you've got it out and you want to take a manual picture, you can press shot. The replay would be if you wanted to view your pictures on the camera instead of pulling your memory card. And then mode, let's see what mode does. We go back to setup. Yeah, so it's just doing a quick change. You can see here, as you notice, the video appears changing. So this is just a quick way to toggle between what you're wanting to do. Right now, I've got it on camera mode. Now I've got it on video. Now I've got it on camera and video. So it's kind of cool that it gives you that. So you don't have to go into your menu and change it. If you just want to really quickly change the camera from video to camera or from video to photos only, you can do it right here. That's what the mode button does. Anyway, that's a quick walkthrough of the setup. I hope that helps. Let's put it out and see what kind of images we get. All right, everybody, I was going to show you real quick just how I'm going to set up this camera just to do a test. See if I can get some test video and some test picture images just to show you the quality of it. So I've got it set up. I've got it hooked up to my solar panel, and I'm going to show you. I've got it on my basketball court out here. And it's about 20 feet, maybe a little bit longer to the end of the basketball court. And then there's a fence way back there that's considerably further away. So we should be able to get a pretty good idea of what the flash quality is, as well as the PIR sensitivity, whether or not it can detect that far of a range. But anyway, just wanted to show you the setup. And I'm going to put out some birdseed and maybe some water, and we'll see if we can get some varmints that'll set off the camera.